actually started this video. I finished this video twice. And I don't like to be a negative person. I'm upbeat, try to be positive, but I also try to call a spade a spade. Locatelli got really driven poorly last week by me, and I wanted to come over here. I know he had the 7-hole. It's really tough to figure out how to drive him out of the 7-hole on a half-mile track when he's never raced on a half-mile track. And I somehow figured out a way to drive him even worse than I did last week. You know, for those of you who've never driven in a race or trained a horse, the exhilaration knowing that your horse won because of the preparation you put in, the work you put into the horse, it's a wonderful feeling. The other side of that, at least for a driver, is when you know the only reason that horse didn't race good or win was because of the poor drive you gave the horse. That is a horrible feeling. It's embarrassing. It's tough. But you know, this is not the first time I've driven down a road after the races, you know, trying to explain to myself how it wasn't a horrible drive, or they weren't horrible drives. You know, I think most drivers don't have great nights. And the better the driver you are, the fewer bad nights you have. I've had plenty of bad nights. You know, when I got here, drove 4.5 hours to Northfield, wanted to get Macho Martini around. I didn't like how I kind of missed the gate with him at the Meadows that day. He scoped a little sick. But I didn't want to have him on top of the gate. I thought I had him in a good spot coming out of the turn into the stretch. But he just wasn't good tonight. He was really, really agitated. And actually, Lauren said he was kind of agitated last week also. You know, in a perfect world where all our conditions were met at all the tracks, we wouldn't have a problem. But I'm left trying to juggle horses all over North America. We had to move Yes to Dover. We had to move Locatelli to the Meadows and then to Northfield Park. This is our Canadian flagship horse. He shouldn't have to leave Mohawk. But in fairness, no one from the race office at Mohawk drove Locatelli tonight. I did. And I can piss and moan about how the races didn't fill and how classes didn't fill, but at the end of the day, I'm sitting behind him. The only thing standing between the winner's circle and a horrible feeling is the way that I drive Locatelli. Last week, I couldn't have won last week. I didn't have to be parked the whole way. And I probably could have won tonight. Now, I would have loved to see what would have happened had I stayed in the 4-hole. Let Combs Hanover come to the outside. Would Hunter let Ronnie Wren go? When I came out of the turn, the voice in my head said, you know what's about to happen. Ronnie Wren's going to come with Combs Hanover. Hunter's going to cut him loose. The horse in the 3 and the 4-hole have no business coming first over into those horses, and they won't. You're going to be first over at the half with Locatelli in the same place you were last week, coming to the first over into the same horse you did last week. The only place you didn't want to be is where I was about to be, but that's not true. The worst place I could have been is where I actually ended up. Not only did I drive him bad, but I actually run into Hunter Myers just past the half. So I ruined my night and his. Anyway, it's as I was trying to say to you, the feeling of elation when a horse of yours wins because of the extra work you put in, it's an amazing feeling. I know as an owner, it's wonderful to see your horse win, but knowing that what you did all throughout the week, whether you're a caretaker or a trainer, it's just, although you're not the owner, it's a different feeling, but it's a wonderful feeling. And when you drive a horse as badly as I just did, it would be almost like, and I've had this happen once or twice, going down the road, at 80 and a 65. Now, I know the speed limit is 65. It says that right there on my little car here. It says it right there on that sign. I'm doing 80. Now, I know I'm speeding right now. And I know if there's a cop up there, he's probably going to pull me over, or she's going to pull me over. Now, if I stay going 80 in this 65 and I get pulled over, many of you have been there and you understand that feeling. You get pulled over, you're telling yourself you're stupid, what an idiot you are, and why couldn't you just slow down? Why couldn't you just put your cruise control on? Why would you take the risk of looking like an idiot, and now you have to pay a fine? That actually did happen, because I'm probably going to get fined for hitting Hunter Myers. It's like that, but worse. Similar, I guess. Yeah, here I am doing 78. As I said, you guys all know me very well right now. I get pretty thick skin. That stuff like that bothers me. You know who I feel the worst for, aside from Hunter, who clearly I interfered with? I feel bad for Locatelli. Feel bad for Harry. Nelly, people that put the work into that horse. You know, poor bugger didn't get to race at Mohawk, so we took him to the Meadows. Put him on the front his first start, he get beaten. Raced pretty good. I don't think I was too hard on him that day. I thought he raced well. Next week, butchered him. Didn't get in at the Meadows. So, we'll just race him on a half, because he's never done that in his life. Anyway, it's done now. The horse is fine. He was eating his hay when I left. He's tough. He's a big boy. Not my first bad drive. I'll get up tomorrow, have a Starbucks, go and do my work, try and help at the barn, hide from Harry all day. There's the police. Look, still doing 77. That was quite the opportunistic. Anyway, tough night. Things will get better. We'll move on.